folks. This is Mason Weaver, author of Tribalism, and my first book, It's Okay to Leave the Plantation. It's almost 20 years old now, and it's very interesting. It's an interesting time to be alive right now. We're trying our best to get ourselves ready for this race in 2018, and we're gearing ourselves up. The enemy is also gearing themselves up. So today I want to have a little overall conversation about how our emotions are being led, and why we should be just focusing on other things. I don't care about Judge Kavanaugh and some 30-year-old trying to get some. I have to be honest. I just have to be honest with you. I do not care. It's not a very, very big emotional thing with me, but every TV program, every newspaper article is draining us like it's a reality program about this garbage, this nonsense, this stupidity. And it's designed to sell papers and to give viewers to the radio and TV. I understand that. It's designed not to aggravate you, but the result is that you will be aggravated. You'll be frustrated. You get the long discussions with the other side, the enemy, and nothing comes of it. No conclusion comes of it. Those who like him will like him. Those who don't like him will not like him. Those who are going to vote for him in the Senate will vote, and those who will not vote. Meanwhile, back at the ranch, are your nights restful? Are you sleeping pretty good now? Are you getting along with your relatives and co-workers now? You feel good about yourself in the morning when you wake up? Or do you dread to even turn on the TV anymore? Do you dread even watching the news anymore? Do you find yourself turning the TV off when the subject comes up? Because you know something's wrong with the picture. You would think the most important news item of the world, of the century right now, is a 17-year-old boy trying to get some for a 15-year-old girl at a party. Really, you think that's what it is? And I'm going to tell you, folks, it's not the most important thing going on right now. This week alone, this is September the 23rd, Sunday. This past week alone, the stock market hit an all-time record high. I mean, the economy is booming on all cylinders now. We're kicking out jobs. We're bringing companies back to America, bringing money back to America. We got a new trade deal in Mexico. Anybody hear about that? We have Canada thinking about a trade deal with us. We have North Korea praising our president now last week. Did you hear about that? They're meeting with South Korea. Talking about doing a Olympics bid together. The world is coming together. Even Obama is taking credit for the great economy. Did you hear about that? No. You heard about a 17-year-old boy in high school 30-some-odd years ago trying to get some. And it's so important to you that you want to jeopardize this guy sitting on the Supreme Court listening to your gun right laws, listening to whether or not your Christian belief system could actually flow into your work system, whether an atheist can force you to work on his project, building a cake, something like that. You actually think it's more important, did he or did he not try to get some when he was 17 years old? I got news for you folks. Every 50 and 60-year-old man today, every police officer, every priest, every teacher, every coach, every medical doctor, try to get some at 17. Try to. We not all been successful, but we all tried to. Let's stop this game. We are allowing the liberals to have special privileges. I don't believe in white privilege. I don't believe in black privilege. And I do not believe in liberal privilege. They do not have the power of the accusation. You know, we all know that Keith Ellison did worse, sooner, and no one cares. If you don't care about Keith Ellison and beating up his girlfriend, if you don't care about Bill Clinton beating up his girlfriends and wannabe girlfriends, if you don't care about what your side is doing, I do not care if Brett Kavanaugh tried to get some at 17. I'm sorry. I want to make America great again. I want to continue the record black unemployment, the record Hispanic unemployment. I heard today you got a record number of women-owned businesses. I care about that. I care about us beating China. We can beat China in a trade war. China cannot afford a trade war. We can. But you hear it now? Heard about that? No. Europe is waiting for us to come back to them. They miss us. Have you heard about that? Have you heard about the fact that we got a space war going on now? Not a trade war, but a space war. Trump is going to take us to space. We're no longer going to pay the Russians $58 million to send our astronauts to space. That's what I'm worried about, folks. The stock market made more money for your 401k than you've had in a long time. But they want you to think about that Kavanaugh trying to get some at 17. When are we going to be brave enough to say, we've had enough? When are we going to be brave enough to say, it's time to leave the plantation, time to get our emotions under our control? You're not going to upset me and frustrate me because you have a vested interest in it. You're not going to make me angry and speechless and restless at night. You're not going to enter my nighttime sleep because you want to bring up a subject that is not important. It is unimportant. Vote for this guy. Raise your hand so we know who you are, and let's decide if we want to vote for you. Don't vote for him or do vote for him. Put this vote to the American people and let us decide. Because once you hear it from the accuser, I call her Anita Hill too. Once you heard from Kavanaugh, once you heard from the Senate, Dianne Feinstein, and everybody, once you heard from them, and once you heard from the Senate in their general vote, you will then hear from us. You will hear from the deciding voice. You will hear again from the American people. So, folks, relax. Will you stop? Will you relax? They can't touch us. They can only make us nervous and shame us. Donald Trump faced down 17 Republican establishment and beat them. The press and beat them. He faced the Democrats in Congress and beat them. He beat the Chamber of Commerce. He beat the unions. Donald Trump beat every person opposed. The media, the press, the print. He beat them. They're trying to tell you they have power and influence. If they had power and influence, Hillary Clinton would be president right now. They have no power. They have no influence. They just have noise. Noise. Are you tired of being treated like a child? Scared, bedtime stories scared you? Are you afraid of ghosts? We are Americans. We the people, the strongest force this country, this world has ever seen. We the people are woke, and we're thinking, and we're in charge, and we want America great again. We're going to build the wall. We're going to make Mexico eager to stop the illegal flows of drugs and people from the... We're going to make them eager to do it, folks. We're going to rebuild our military. We've already... Did you hear? Did you hear that America now is the #1 oil exporter, producer in the world? We're bigger than Saudi Arabia now. We're bigger than Russia now. But you haven't heard that. You heard about the little 17-year-old boy who tried to get some 30 years ago. Right now, Europe is no longer under the threat of blackmail from Russia with oil, because we have the oil too. Right now, OPEC is toothless now, because we have produced more oil here now. We are independent in natural gas, independent in oil, independent in the military, and you're worried about a 17-year-old boy trying to get some a few years ago. Do that. America is strong because you and I are strong. Let's stop this division by our color, by our race, by our gender. Let's stop the division. We are united. In spite of what the loot left says about us, we are united. So, folks, relax. I'm going to tell you what's going to happen at the hearing. She's going to come and testify, and she's going to be sincere, and she's going to be intimidated and scared, and she's going to drop a small little bomb. And that bomb is going to require further investigation. That bomb is going to require further analysis and further time. That's what the Democrats want. They want time. They want time. And don't believe this nonsense about he has to be confirmed by October 1st. Folks, he has to be confirmed by next week. Because next week the Supreme Court organized and they meet and they set themselves up for the year. We got these liberal judges pulling down these decisions all over the country right now, and they're making their way to the Supreme Court. If they cannot meet and vote, approving or disapproving, if they have a 50-50 tie in the Supreme Court, it goes back to the lower court rulings, which means the liberal judges will be the ruling party in this. They want to delay this because they do not want Kavanaugh on the court when these decisions come up to them. Ignore this garbage. Write your congressman, call your congressman switchboards tomorrow, Monday, and demand a vote. Raise your hand high so we know how you vote, so we go in that voting booth in November and know who you are. Stay right or be left. We are in charge, folks. God bless you.